everyone, welcome to Cuberviews, episode 54. This is your host, Ian Braverman. I hope you're having a really great day. Today, I am joined by Ryan Byle. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Ian?
Oh, it's going pretty well. It's a Tuesday night. I don't know why Tuesdays I get tired. I don't know, it's the middle of the week, something about it.
Yeah, it's not quite halfway through, so it's like the inner term, and you're like, oh, it just drags on. You still have 3 more days to go.
Oh man, But I'm ready to talk cubes. So, how was your day today?
Pretty good. Work went really well. Got out a little bit earlier than normal. Went to go pick up my dog from the vet. He had to get his tooth pulled, but other than that, good day. Weather hasn't been too terrible. It's finally warming back up from the little freeze we had in Indy. So, but yeah, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Work was pretty chill. Held my bird. Had some salad for dinner. Yeah, thank you for coming on. We met at CubeCon last year, CubeCon 2025. It was great meeting you there. I was at the event and I was like, what is that cube on the table? It's so shiny and it's got so many strange arts. And then I was like, what is this? And then I think you were like, oh, this is the Secret Lair cube. And I was like, what? So I was like, I want to talk about this.
A little backstory about it. I just started collecting Secret Lairs when the Praetors came out because I was obsessed with New Phyrexia and Innistrad and all that. It's kind of like when I started. And some of my buddies were like, oh, you bought so many of them, you might as well make a cube, because a bunch of my friends here are just limited junkies. And at that time I wasn't. I just collected. I mean, I played a little bit, but I collected mainly. After a while, I was able to get 360 Secret Lair cards, and I was able to put together a really, really rough draft of a cube. And then it's kind of morphed into what it is now, and it's going to morph again in the next few weeks and see where it goes from there.
My favorite kind of cube when I'm building a cube is just 360 cards in a box, and you play it and you have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like a mystery booster. It's just like, you just don't know what you're going to get. Just random cards.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like bring out one of my cubes that I haven't drafted in a while and people will be like, so what's in this cube? And I'll be like, I don't remember, but let's have some fun. Before we jump into the cube, tell me about your history with Magic and cube overall.
So I started Magic back in 2011. Is it like weird time where it's like summer of sophomore year in between junior year, and all my friends played standard at the time. Commander was kind of a thing, but not really. You basically just played like the original Commander decks, so it wasn't like anything too crazy. And at that time, Innistrad was the first set that was coming out, so that was the first pre-release I did. Got killed. You just learn through kind of going through the gauntlet.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, literally. And then I just played standard for a while. And I started with like mono green Spirit Illusions.
Mono green Spirit?
Or no, mono blue. Mono blue.
Oh, okay. I was like,
yeah. Yeah. So like I opened up like 4 Lord of the Real or something like that.
Oh, Lord of the Unreal?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's the 2 blue, and it's like spirits get hexproof or something.
Yeah, that card's a great lore. It's just unfortunate it's for illusions.
Yeah, and like at the time, you had the bears, the 1-mana 2/2 bears, and
Phantasmal Bear.
Yeah, Phantasmal Bear, Phantasmal Image that came in like one of the like intro decks or whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, this is so cool. And then like my high end was just a single promo Wormcoil engine that I traded basically everything I had under the sun to get, because I didn't have a job in high school, so that's all that was happening.
Wormcoil is still a house. That's a great card.
Oh yeah, great in cube and just great in general. But yeah, so like that was kind of like my background of it. And then I went to college for 4 years, and all my friends stayed back in Indy while I went up north 2 hours away. So I didn't really play much Magic. I found a little card store up there, played Modern for a little bit, and then I came back to Indy. I cubed for the first time, I think, in like 2016. He like printed out a Moto proxied vintage cube, and we drafted it in his basement. Oh, this is kind of fun. I'm really bad at it, but I bet you I can get better at it. Never learned how to do Mitgo because I don't really want a Phantom draft for $15. I'd rather like have something tangible in my hand to like fiddle with. So then I built my own 5 years ago. I built this really bad Innistrad. The first pack is going to be Singleton Innistrad. Next one's going to be Dark Ascension, and then Avacyn Restored. And so it was just like first pack is going to be just all Innistrad, all Dark Ascension, all Avacyn Restored. It was terrible. It was like,
but the Innistrad cards are so much better than Dark Ascension and Avacyn Restored, right?
Yeah, and like the synergy between pack 1 and pack 2 is going to be great. But then once you get to pack 3, it's a completely different reality. Angels and like anti everything that's in pack 1 and pack 2. So I was like, okay, we're gonna morph this up a bit. But yeah, that's like kind of like my background of like cube and like where I started with Magic.
And what brought you to go to CubeCon?
Levi Wilson. That's a name that probably some people who've listened to this podcast might know. He has gone to KubeCon since the beginning, and he is just a very friendly, very talkative guy. And he was talking about, hey, I went to this convention last year. It was the most fun I've ever had. And so I went to KubeCon the second year, the third year, and the fourth year, and can't wait for the fifth year. Got me in through him, and it's just been so much fun just going to hang out, play with people who are just like all about magic and don't really care about winning. They're just there to do the fun thing.
I went to CubeCon the first year. I was so excited. I was like the only people among my friends who wanted to go because they were all like, Cube convention. That's weird. We play Cube like once a month. It's fine. And then I came back telling the tales of CubeCon. Like, everyone's got to go. And then nobody went. But then friends went. They had a good time.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like the first year I went, rough go at it. 0-9 on day one. But I think when you go to a convention where like people play a really niche format, the skill caliber is much higher than just a Wednesday night local draft. So when you're like going to this like new world, you're definitely playing with better players, but they're also just like, I think way more relaxed and way more fun to play with than just like sweaty Wednesday night, like store raid bosses. So,
yeah. And what are some of your hobbies outside of Cube, and what do you do from work?
Outside of magic, I rock climb, play some soccer, ultimate frisbee, disc golf, and I play a bunch of video games. Currently, I'm hooked on OSRS, like old school RuneScape, and then back on League of Legends grind. And then for work, I do business personal property taxes. Basically, like whatever a store uses to run their business, it gets taxed in certain states. We go through, do the reporting, pay the bill, rinse, repeat. So, yeah.
What level rock climbs are you doing? Are you doing V8s?
No, I peaked V6.
That's pretty good.
And got out of rock climbing. Here's the thing, like my relationship with rock climbing is I get really into it and I go consistently for like 3 months. And then my ADHD kicks in and I go to a new hobby, like a new like athletic thing. And then I come back and I get really frustrated because I'm like struggling on 2s and 3s. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Your fingers are just not ready for it.
Yeah, you're
yet.
like, what happened to grip strength?
Yeah, you're like, literally, I'm useless now. But it's about that time where I want to go back. We have some cool gyms. We have North Mass Bouldering in Indy, and it's like this really cool. It's bouldering only, and every so often they'll bring in like setters from all across the world, and they just do like a series where they just take all of the wall and then like just set. Do you rock climb? I'm assuming you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I do like V2 and V3s. I've been hard stuck. I just do it for fun, like every few weeks. It's fun.
Yeah, it's just like a different way to like you can engage your brain and your muscles at the same time.
Yeah. And I also find it so interesting how there's different types of rock climbs. There's like the slabs, or there's the ones that you're like basically hanging upside down, and it's great.
Yeah.
Highly recommend rock climbing to people.
For real. Yeah, it's really fun, especially with friends too.
Yeah. Let's jump into the cube here. So this cube is called Secrets Are No Fun Unless You Share with Everyone. I like that. It's a nice little rhyme. How'd you find this name?
So I feel like when you try to give your primer or an advertisement for your cube, you have to have a cool name, right?
I'm the king of terrible names.
Well,
I'm like Proliferate Cube by Ian.
Well, like my original name was Ryan Secret Lair. I mean, yeah, but does that have any identity to it?
Feels like your Batman lair.
Yeah, for real. And then you look at it and then you're like, oh, this is not really that cool of a secret lair. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. But that's what we were always told as school kids, right? Secrets are no fun unless you share with everyone kind of thing. And so I use that as kind of just like, all right, this is the way to get in to hopefully get people to be more engaged and enjoy it.
Yeah. So you said that you've been buying Secret Lairs for a while, but what made you want to build a cube with only Secret Lair cards, which is what this cube is? 360 cards. Every card has to be from a Secret Lair. There's a couple other restrictions we'll get into, but did you just have a lot of Secret Lairs and you were like, I want to do something with these cards, they're awesome? Or did you say like, I want to get people to play Secret Lair, show the art? What were the inspirations behind this?
So Levi, I'm going to shout him out again. He saw that I was just collecting all of these Secret Lairs because at the time, all my friends were playing Commander and they were printing basically just Commander staples, right? The Praetors, the Signets, the Talismans, Mother of Runes, like just random good value cards. over time, I started collecting them. And then I met some friends who played Cube, and he recommended I just get enough to put them together. Well, I did that. And let's just say when you have four Mother of Runes and like four lightning bolts and two tireless trackers, two prime times, the overall vibe of what you're drafting is not fun. Like when you like pack one, pick one Mother Runes, and then pack one, pick two Mother Runes, that's a design mistake. So the first iteration of it was 360 still, and it was really bad. And so I was looking at it like, I feel like this has potential if Wizards decides to keep going with this like Secret Lair model. I think it's really fun, unique, and I've always liked foils. Easy way to get like a $50 foil for the cost of 40, and you get four of the cards. So like that was kind of like the incentive behind it. Like, oh, cool, I could get some cards that I wanted with a different art, and it's still shiny, but at a smaller price point.
And Secret Lairs I find are really interesting because I feel like unless you really pay attention to Secret Lairs, for me, I probably haven't seen 90% of the cards from Secret Lairs. When I see a card from a Secret Lair in a cube or in a commander deck, I'm always like, what is that? What is that from?
Yeah, you're like, that's not a real card. Like that.
Where did you print that?
Yeah, for real. Like what proxy site did you use?
Show me the back of that card.
But yeah, so like you said, all these like cool arts and cool prints, it kind of gives them a home. I don't know. Secret Lair is weird. When you look at what you buy, you usually are only wanting one of those cards out of the four. There was one that came out recently with a demonic tutor, and the other cards were just okay. But like the demonic tutor was super cool. And that's how they get you, right? Or like, oh, you want one from each of the sets. So you end up buying all of them for 200, but you only wanted like four cards.
Yeah.
So,
and then what do you do with all the other ones? I mean, what are you going to put it with this? It's Michaeloth, but it's sick. I mean, where are you going to put
it? Yeah, exactly.
And at time of recording, I saw online that there are 2,302 cards from Secret Lairs total, and 326 Secret Lairs that have been released since 2019. But you started this cube a few years ago, and they've only ramped up making more Secret Lairs.
Yeah.
How many cards even existed from Secret Lairs when you made the cube, and what was it like then?
The card pool when I first had it, I think it was like 600 in that ballpark. So it was really clunky. Like I said, you have duplicates of cards. You also like, I didn't buy the original ones. So like I didn't buy like the Kaleidoscope Killers with the Ur-Dragon and the Reaper King and the Goblins and the Cats. Like I didn't buy those because one, they didn't have them in foil at the time, because I don't think that was like in the business model. And two, like I didn't really play Commander. So like I didn't see the point to buy all these early ones. I didn't get those. And then I started, like I said, buying during like the Praetors. And then after that, I skipped the Halloween one. I think I started again back at the Christmas of that year. So that would have been 2020. And I've just been buying ever since.
And what was like the card pool back then? So there was a lot of duplicate. That's interesting about Secret Lairs because there's no like formula for what should go into a Secret Lair, like compared to a standard set that comes out or a Modern Horizons or even a Commander set. They have a theme. Oh, this is Kaldheim and it's all snow, or this is Khans of Tarkir and it's about dragons. But there will be a Secret Lair that's just like cards that Seb McKinnon likes. It'll just be like 7 really random cards, and sometimes all the cards will be worth 5 cents, and sometimes there'll be a $50 card in there. So it's a really unusual pool compared to like even a cube that's like a set where it's like, oh, this cube is only for the last 3 years or something. Like a standard cube is at least Wizards put design thought into building like an environment, you know?
Yeah. It's weird. When I was like first buying these like Secret Lairs, there was no intention to like put it in a cube or an environment. It's just to collect, right? Like the part of Magic where you just collect cards and like you just, oh, this is so cool. I have it, right? You just like, you look at it, it's a grail. You start to look at a lot of these like really weird one-ups, and then they started to like reprint them. Like Consecrated Sphinx was reprinted as a Secret Lair twice. Over time, like obviously the ones that I missed, they got a new copy or a new like iteration. And then it kind of worked out where I'm like, oh, luckily I don't have to spend $55 on that version. They have the new one that's coming out. when you're looking at like the actual products that are being released, that's what I was talking about. I was like, it's basically just like really good commander cards. I feel like WotC over the last like 2-3 years, that's what they really pushed is, oh, hey, how can we get commander players to buy these like random products? If you look at the overall feel of this cube, it's just basically like a bunch of mid-range, like 3-4 drop, 5 drop. Like that's where the powerhouse really lies. Obviously, you have your some good 1 drops, but then like I wanted to put some restrictions on it because even though I have 2,300 cards, one of the restrictions that I have is like I don't want it to feel like a vintage cube. It would be like Legacy Plus, I guess, because you're not going to put power because there's no Secret Lair power. I just don't want it to just be reskinned vintage cube because that's what they started to do, right? In the Final Fantasy, they printed the elementals and they reprinted like Mother runes, Giver runes, and then just like a bunch of really good 1 drop chain lightning. They did the raised etched foils. And then like as time went on, let's just say like 22, 23, 24, then they started getting like the theme stuff. Like they had the Merfolk one that had Thassa's Oracle, Master of Waves. And then they started printing one with zombies where you had like Zombie Master, Noxious School, Unholy Grotto. And then they had like, they started putting themes together, but like it's a one of. There's not going to be like another one that's all zombies or all merfolk. So you kind of get this weird pool of cards where you may find some synergies between like 1 or 2 cards from like 2 years apart, or you might get like a cluster of them. But then they have this weird bonus sheet. Do you know about the bonus sheet cards that come in them?
Yeah, it's like the Lucille in The Walking Dead. I might just be making that up completely.
That I think that is one of them, but like that's like a guaranteed hit. Like when you open up the Walking Dead Secret Lair, you're gonna get it. But like some of them will have a random elf. Like so, there's a bunch of elves that exist, and there's a bunch of slivers. Like almost every sliver that's been printed, a Secret Lair one. There's like 60 of them. And then there's also they started like retro frame zombie foils, like in the bonus sheet card. If I was gonna add those, then that kind of like takes away from like all these other random cards that are getting in place. Then you're like, oh, it's just gonna be a tribal cube, and I didn't want that. So that kind of puts like some more restriction on like what I'm actually gonna do with it. Because when you start playing with slivers, in the 2 years I had slivers in there was only 2 like successful decks that were managing to win more than just 1 round. And it was like a mono blue sliver that played 3. And then it was a Rakdos sliver theme that had 4. It would feel bad if you're forced to play slivers when you don't want to play them. So then I just like scrapped that idea. Let's see what I can do and create something else with what we got. And so far people like it. I think it's a little bit better than the original draft. Adding more, I guess, personality to the cube is better. But there's still some things that could be better, like the lands and all that kind of stuff.
So has there been more of a focus for you on mechanical gameplay or the aesthetics and like the art? Because in my mind, like one of the big draws of Secret Lair is you get really cool art. You get to show off some really amazing, interesting art from designers that don't usually make magic art, or really unusual paintings, or things that you just would never see on a normal magic card. And I feel like that's why it's Secret Lair to me. It's unusual. It's strange. And how much of the cube were you focused on wanting to play some of these arts that you really loved compared to mechanical gameplay focus?
The thing that I found was like the cooler like idea of a Secret Lair. Like there's a Secret Lair that's out there where it's like just face cards. They look like a deck of playing cards, but they have like no Oracle text. They have nothing, no keywords. Like they have what you want them to be, but then it makes it very hard. So then that puts a lot of pressure back on the player to know. And I don't know about you, but if there's like a card that's in a draft and I'm like, I'm not too familiar with it, I'll kind of gravitate towards a card that I've either seen before or like rings a bell. And so then I'm like, well, if there's no rules text on it and nobody's going to like remember it, there's going to be like maybe 2 to 3 people that remember some obscure card from like a random limited format from years ago. So like I kind of had to pull away from just like the really cool flashy ones, make sure that if it's going to be in there, you can read it and it makes sense. And then like if we're talking about mechanics, there are some Secret Lairs that are like mechanically unique, like the Marvel ones.
Or like the Street Fighter is another big one.
Street Fighter was in there before they print those. The Stranger Things. I think like the mechanically unique stuff is fine. They don't really need other cards to make a synergy work because they just inherently have an ability that's just good or like can do things without needing something that has the same keyword. I think the only one that kind of was like, oh, hey, this makes more sense to have a theme is like Iron Man. It deals with artifacts, and then you have Brea, and you have a bunch of other artifacts that exist in this realm that like make it work. So like it's kind of more so shifted towards, hey, how can I make this draft environment feel fun, but also somewhat synergistic at the same time, and have a cool version of a card that I think is like worth putting in there.
Were
So
there any cards that you were like, I need to get this in here just because the art is so sick?
brain freeze.
Oh, what's that one look at? Let me look at
Okay,
that.
so the one that's in there
Ooh,
from time to time, they have the artist series. This was one of them, but there's a new version of this brain freeze, and it's a popsicle with a brain from like the encyclopedia, and like that's what it's swapped to. And but it looks super cool. I think some really cool ones are like Wall of Omens, like those series. I really like that like wavy kind of cool looking art. There's a few others that
very
come in.
surreal.
Yeah, and there's like some other ones that come with like Eternal Witness. It's not in here, but it's like stuff that is like going to be moved. Just like stuff that just feels good. I like some of the chibi planeswalkers. I think that's like some of them are really cool because like I played during that time when those cards came out. So like they check my boxes for like things I want to do. When it comes to finding specific arts and like specific things, I just try to make sure that I like it and then somebody else can read it and know what the card does. I have noticed that there are some cards that have been reprinted or like printed with text errors. There's a instant that's it's like circular logic. It's a counterspell, but it's a sorcery instead of an instant. It acts as an instant. And then like coma. Coma is printed wrong. It's instead of it being each player's upkeep, it's your upkeep. But like
Wow.
it's still functions the same way, but like gets through. Overall, I just try to make it where like the arts are really cool and like I find the ones that I think are most interesting. And then there's some that like are really hard to cut because I just really like what they look like. Like the birthing pod, that one looks really cool if you have that pulled up.
Ooh, let me take a look here. Oh, wow. It's like it's like a little changeling little dude being clamped.
Yeah,
Oh,
like and it's
no.
just like really cool things. Like the Ulamog, all of the
Oh, the
cereal box ones.
cereal.
Yeah, right. And like it's just like things like that like are really cool. Even if you go down to like the Reckoner Bankbuster, the front side it looks like it's like a Hot Wheels car, but like on the
Yeah.
back has all the rules text.
Huh.
Obviously, you're not going to be seeing the front of it. You're going to be seeing the rules text, but like cards are really cool.
And one thing that definitely the first thought, or one of the first thoughts that I have when it comes to secret layers is readability. And we touched on it.
Yeah.
Some secret layer cards to me are just like literally unreadable. Like,
Yes, I
for example, I
1000%
think it
agree.
was a Saruman or it was like
The heavy metal
Saruman.
cards.
Yeah.
That's what the heavy metal series because you have that card, you have Tevish Zot, the Planeswalker, Thraxamundar is in that print. If you're like know what the card does, sure, but like if you're drafting for the first time, you're like, I can't read it. It's all like spread out, small, and it's like, no, not worth it. Not worth it.
So are there cards that you've been like, this would just be so perfect for the queue, but nobody would be able to read it? What's the trade-off there?
Yes and no. I mean, like this kind of stems to another problem, which I think we're going to talk about later, is like the power band. It's very wide, very, very wide. You have some like stinker cards, but then you also have some really good cards like Soul Ring. Like that's in here. But that's
Yes, I
also
wanted to
because
ask
there's like,
about that.
yeah, because there's like 40 versions of Soul Ring. There's like some ideas that I have when it comes to those kind of cards. In terms of like cards being pulled out that I feel like could be going in, I haven't really thought about it too much. I want to keep it fresh, right? I want to keep it moving. Luckily, we've had a little bit like a 2 month break because they messed up the Dragon Hunter Secret Lair that was
Yeah,
going to
the
drop.
Monster Hunter, I think they
Monster Hunter, that's what it
recalled
was.
it. It's
Yeah.
super weird.
Yeah. They like completely botched it. And they're like, okay, well, people are angry. So let's fix it. No, there are some things that are technically secret layer cards that would be perfect, but they do not have a frame. Those are the cards that come in the commander decks.
Oh,
Um, because like the 20 ways to win
yeah,
one,
like the fully secret layer commander decks, like the 100 card ones like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So like I've gotten all but one of them because I didn't buy like from cute to brute. That's the one that has like the flip ones, like Delver Secrets, Nicobolus, and then like Bloodline Keeper, Westville Abbey, and something else. But like some of the cards have the secret layer symbol, and then they're listed in the actual card pool as a secret layer card. But it's the original art. So I was like, that kind of takes away from what I'm trying to accomplish just a little bit. Like it's still a product of Secret Lair, but it's not like a unique art. But like inside of that, they have actual Secret Lair cards like Bitter Blossom, Avengers Zendikar. they have their own versions of cards. Tauren Mauler, I think, is one of them, which is like an odd card to have, but like that's not going to be really used in draft, but it's going to be one of those cards. I was like, oh yeah, it's a commander card. So
Yeah. I see Lightning Bolt in here, and that's like a pretty normal art.
yeah, that one is actually my favorite art.
Oh.
Fun story about this one. So it's the Chris Rush like original art, but they put it in that like you can see through the text box. This you got from buying like a Nerf blaster, and it came with 2 of them. Like it's not even like you didn't buy it through Watson, you bought it through like Nerf, like a Nerf dart gun.
Is this the one that also had like the card that like shoot a Nerf gun? If you hit your opponent's deck, then you
No, but that would be hilarious. No, I know there's like one that talks about it's the My Little Pony one where you can like use dolls to like create stuff. And I don't think I have it in here, but whatever the unicorn has on it, like if it has wings, it has flying, or if it has like a horn, it has like first strike or something.
My friend had one also that was like you had to have an action figure, and then if you like transformed the action figure, then it would flip sides.
That's crazy. That would be so cool though.
So the power band in this cube is definitely something I wanted to talk to you about. And is that partially because of the restriction that you have of not having at least 180 of the cards not be in the MTGO Vintage Cube? Because there are definitely some very high power cards in here. Like, for example, we talked about Soul Ring, there's Chromox, other fast mana, there's powerful combo in here. There's Underworld Breach, Brain Freeze combo, very strong interaction, Thoughtseize, Swords to Plowshares. And then at the same time, there's some what I would call
stinkers. Yeah, you call them stinkers.
I love some of these cards, like Sunblast Angel, 4 white when it enters, destroy all tapped creatures. I mean, that card's very cool, and the art is very cool, but
yeah.
I don't know if that card is going to, or Glissa Sunseeker, be as strong as Underworld Breach combo.
Yeah. The power band is wide, but like you have to look at the breach combo, right? So you don't have access to LED. You don't have access to Black Lotus. Your options are like Manamorphose and like Pirate. And so like, sure, the dream can come true, but you really got to work for it. You can do some really busted things. One thing that I thought was like a really cool interaction that I did once was like turn 1, like Soul Ring, turn 2, Ghost Quarter my basic land to play a Garruk on turn 2 to like start making 3/3s. That's about as crazy as you're going to get. You're not going to be putting like a 7/7 attracts into play on like reanimating like turn 1. Like I said, the Brain Freeze combo, it's like hard to pull off because you need like 7 pieces. Manamorphose can go in almost any deck, right? Or like any of the fast mana can go in any deck. If these like crazy pieces come together, I'm all about it because it's not going to happen often. I think like one of the dumbest things I have in here is like Dark Ritual and Necropotence. I lost to that, and that made me feel really bad. It's like one of those things where like the odds of them actually coming together, because it's just an 8-man, like all the cards are going to be opened. There's obviously like cards that are going to be on like the watch list, like Hex Drinker. That's on the watch list.
Yeah, that card.
Right. And like you don't get access to Force of Will yet. Cards that are just inherently good. And then that's why I was like, well, I want to have some like really strong cards, but I don't want to have too many where they're just reskinned Vintage Cube level stuff. Like obviously you're gonna have some. And then there's obviously like a price restriction that limits what I want to do. Like there's like 6 cards I want. But if I want those 6 cards, I'm gonna have to spend upwards of like 5,500 plus.
Which cards are those?
They have a Snapcaster Mage. It's a bonus card from like the Secret Lairs.
Oh,
that one's really expensive. It was from the Hatsune Miku Secret Lairs. It's a bonus card in that. Mana Vault. That one's like almost $2,000 now.
Wow.
And it's from the Fallout one. And then you have like the elementals, like Solitude, Fury, Endurance. Those are several $100s a piece from the Final Fantasy. But then scalpers ate those up like it was nobody's business. Like I was lucky enough to find a like Lotus Petal for like a decent price. There's some things I want, but like, do I really want them that bad?
Yeah. So. Looking at the creatures in this cube, it's interesting. It feels like the creatures are less powerful in this cube than the instants and sorceries. For example, I see Swords to Plowshares. I see Balance, Thoughtseize, Inquisition. But then there's like, as we talked about, 8 green 4-drops. It's a pretty high curving cube when it comes to creatures. Micaeus the Unhallowed, or like Sunblessed Angel, like we talked about. Is that because of just the way that Secret Lairs are? And they tend to print these really powerful commander staple like interaction pieces? Or did you purposely remove some of the creatures or threats?
So one thing that I noticed was like before there was not a lot of over the board interaction. Like instants and sorceries were like the weakest.
Oh,
They were bad. Like we got Chain Lightning recently. We just got Path to Exile this year. Swords of Plowshares has been there for a while, but like I don't think I have those ones in there at the moment. I wanted to kind of be just like, all right, we're just gonna slug it out creature style. You're gonna be that mid-rangey, like we're gonna fight to the death. You might be able to get the nuts draw where you like find a really cool Stoneforge. You'll get like a GTA on turn 3, and then like you just do the thing, or you like find some random good card. Yeah, Sunblast Angel's terrible. It's like it's just not great, right? If you had to pick between a Sun Titan, a Felidar Sovereign, or Sunblast Angel, you're picking the Sun Titan almost every time, in my eyes.
sometimes
Right?
gas.
They're printing more cards, and like obviously, like we were talking before this, I had like 57 cards that I'm like gonna swap out. So there's a chance that all of these creatures they may not be there, but I don't know yet because like I want to see what comes and goes. And then if it's there and I realize I don't like it, it's going to go bye-bye. I definitely want the power level to be like, I can't tell you the last time I've seen a Sunblast Angel played in Commander or like anywhere.
I have it
It
in
has
one
a
of my
home now.
weird low power cubes, but yeah, other
Yeah,
than
like it's
that.
like, oh crud. Like somebody got me on a turn 7 with the Sunblast Angel. This feels bad. It's just kind of cool to give all these like random cards like a new home. And that's
The
what I like
opponent's
about
got to
it.
win the game somehow, you know?
It right, exactly.
And yeah, we just mentioned it when you were talking about how you're going to be adding like a lot of cards in your next update. What is the process of updating this cube? Because how Secret Lairs come out is they'll do a drop, 8 Secret Lairs coming out, and there'll be like 100 cards among all those Secret Lairs. And you might not even get the cards from those Secret Lairs for 2 months. Buying all those cards one time, it can be expensive. Some of those Secret Lairs can really get the price jacked up if you don't buy them right away. So there's like FOMO with it. And I'm
Mhm.
sure people have heard that there's the insane process of buying a Secret Lair. I mean, where you have to like get in at like 3 in the morning or whatever, and then like get in line and then have 5 computers open to like make sure you
Yeah.
can buy it. Is this cube like stressful to update because just price reasons or the way that you have to get the cards?
So a few things on that. I am fortunate enough. I get paid well enough where I like buying a whole package of Secret Lair isn't like terrible. My wife hates me for it. It's fine, I guess. No, I think like the waiting in line. So WotC changed their like printing policy on this. I think it was last year, maybe like at the end of the year before that. And they instead of like being like print to like demand, they just decided, hey, we're gonna just make it a finite amount, and then that's so be it. Then they've like openly acknowledged that there's a fundamental flaw in their online system for shopping. They never patched for an entire 7 months. Scalpers can skip the line, buy everything out, and then they're like, oh, well, we're just going to slap a band aid on it, limit how much people buy. Still didn't fix the problem. You still got to wait in queue. And then they're like, well, what if people pre queue? What kind of pre-queue ever existed back in like the 80s, 90s, and like early 2000s? You're in line, you're in line. And the thing is, like a pre-queue is either going to work out great. It's either you're going to be like in the top 10%, you can be in the middle, you can be the last in line, but there's still like an unfair like advantage of gambling with that. I can only get there at noon. That part is stressful. Well, there's not even a guarantee I get it. So when the PlayStation stuff came out, there was one that had a bunch of like Furbies and Jaws. And I'm like, Sneak Attack is so cool. You can put the Eldrazi instead of like in this like mono green ramp deck that's in this cube. You can put in like a red deck. That'd be cool. It's sold out. And now like the Jaws Secret Lair is like $140. Retail, it's 50. And I feels bad when you're literally just buying it for one card. Overall, buying them isn't a problem. It's just making sure that like I have to make sure I get in line, and like luckily I just get on my phone, and then if I get it, I get it, and if I don't, I save $250 ish that month. Basically, what it boils down to.
When there's like a whole Secret Lair, do you just buy the whole Secret Lair for like the chance that you'll want to put in cards at some
Yeah.
point from it? In my experience, there have been cards that I've wanted from Secret Lairs, but I'm not like a wait in line guy. I don't do that. And I like to buy cards from my game store when I can. And so some of these Secret Lair cards, you basically have to buy them online. I mean, it's a requirement. Like my game store will
Yeah.
once in a while have a couple of cards from a Secret Lair here and there, but do you have to like buy these cards like right when they're coming out, or some of these cards become so expensive because of scalpers and stuff?
Yeah, no, I unfortunately have to buy them right then and there. We talked about it and I've talked to other people. Most of the time you like want one or two really good cards out of like the drop, like out of the collection of like four or five. What if you just want to put in like a different version of a card? There's a Kadama's Reach that's going to get added. The first version of it was from a cat secret layer drop, and that copy is like $98. And like this new one's like $10. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like it doesn't matter to me. I mean, it still does the same thing, it just looks different. Watsy definitely made you put it where you need to buy them basically that then and there. You can buy singles, but then you're just going to buy them for way over what you could have paid and had a few extra cards.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation buying these Secret Lairs. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah. Yeah.
And another question I had for you is, because they often just kind of print cards randomly with these Secret Lairs, like once in a while they'll throw in a random land or they'll throw in a random card from a cycle. I was looking at your land section, for example,
I'm
and
sorry.
there's pretty random lands in here. I mean, there's 4 Azorius lands, 2 Orzhov, 3 Boros, 1 Mardu Nomad Outpost. Is that because of just they don't print cycles with Secret Lairs very much? Like I know that they've done like the full shock lands. I think they did the full fetch lands at one point. Tell me about that.
After CubeCon this year, I talked to some like Watsy staff about it, and they sent this list to the actual Secret Lair team.
They sent your cube list to the Secret Lair team?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Because
Cool.
I was like, hey, listen, I have some beef with you guys. They've completed partial sets on some of them. So they have the full set of shocks. They have half the fast lands, like the Scars of Mirrodin fast lands. They have 7 out of the 10 check lands. So like Sun Petal Grove, Isolated Chapel, all of those. They have 5 reveal lands, which are like the fair
snarls.
Like, yeah. They don't have like any of the triomes, which is fine. I don't think they need those. In terms of the fetch lands, they only have 5 fetch lands.
Oh.
They have the enemy ones. They have all 10 pathways. And then they have some random mana fixers, which is like the Mana Confluence, Fabled Passage to go get one random. But like the land selection is abysmal. It really puts a limit on what you can do. When I drafted this last, I definitely realized that I need to balance out the lands a little bit better, which I have the ability to do. I have some of the other like off-colored ones because some have 2, some have 4, and I'm like, well, that's not really fair. Mitgo Vintage has a very heavy concentration of blue in comparison to the other colors. I don't want to do that. I just want it to be like an equal playing field. This is somewhere I have to revisit. I want it to be balanced. The card pool is not great.
Yeah, and I feel like that definitely comes from, I mean, you have a very limited card pool like we talked about, and they don't print cycles very often. So I was wondering, so sounds like you've gone through many iterations of this cube. Like you had more tribal or kindred themes in, you had this cube where it was kind of just like 360 cards that you had of Secret Lairs. What have been some lessons that you've learned over time that others could learn from with this curating this list?
If you think it's bad, try it anyway. Like if you think it's not a good idea, explore it. Like I said, there's a lot of cards that probably don't get see play everywhere. Like Urtai the Corrupted, sacrifice a creature enchantment, counter target spell.
Wow, yeah.
Mana. It's a 3/4. They're just like random cards. The thing is, Magic and Cube is your expression, right? And like, don't be afraid to be you because it could be the best thing ever. But like, if somebody puts a doubt in your head, just try it. I mean, honestly, like, what can go wrong? You just have a bad draft and then you just, all right, cool. I learned what to do, what not to do, because you're not going to learn otherwise, right? Like nothing's going to be perfect whenever you do it. And that's like what I think is so cool about Cube. Like new cards come out all the time. New strategies come out all the time. New cards, new card pool. Just do it. Just have fun with it.
Yeah. And what have been some of your favorite decks that you've seen drafted?
Smokestack was in here at one point.
Wow, smokestack.
So like there was like this like really cool like Brea 4-color smokestack thing. Really cool. It made a bunch of like 1/1s. It was like a really taxing deck. It did terrible,
Oh
but it was
no.
really cool. And then like one deck that I was really impressed with, there was this like Teamer Ramp Maelstrom Wanderer deck cascading into like craziness. Like he had Primetime, Animar. It was this really cool deck. It happened at CubeCon. There was that, and then mono green Eldrazi, because you're not playing like the really, really good ones. You're playing like good Eldrazi, but like slightly less good. You're gonna play the Void Winnower, like that kind of stuff. In general, like those are like some like the cool decks I've seen. Like you have your streamline like Boros aggro stuff, Rakdos control, or like Rakdos like mid range. When people get really creative and do stuff, I think that's where you like really put this limit to the test.
Some of my favorite secret layers here that I think are just insane. We have Elspeth Sun's Champion here, which is they did this round of secret layers where they made planeswalkers like they would have been old border,
Like the
like
retros.
before they actually did planeswalkers. It says put 4 loyalty, use counters on Elspeth. Opponents can attack Elspeth as though they were you. Any damage she suffers depletes that much loyalty. It's just the wording on this is just so funny.
Goofy. And like, the thing is, like, there was other planeswalkers like that. They had like Dak Faden.
Yes,
and
that one
they
was
had
crazy. Yeah.
Karn, I think. They had Karn in there.
Oh man. I definitely want to try this. And some of like the ones that are like reskins of cards, like for example, the Dismember. Tis but a scratch.
Yep.
But it's Dismember. I feel like I would open this card and what is this? Tis but a scratch. And what does this do? And then I start to read it. I'm like, oh, it's Dismember. It's a good card.
They had the Office one. And so there's
Oh
Tragic
my
Slip.
gosh.
Tragic Slip's in there as a bonus card. He drops the chili, and that's like the Tragic Slip. But like, I don't have that card because it's like $75. It was a bonus random card. And I was like, okay, maybe one day.
The bonus cards, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that adds a lot of expense. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
They had to even make lottery with Secret Lairs.
Yeah. And it was like the first lottery was the Stained Glass Planeswalker series that from like
Yeah.
the Oath of the Gatewatch. I think those were like the Planeswalkers. And there's some other like random ones where they can find a way to like add a gambling factor, but not call it gambling is definitely the way.
How about we jump into a pack one, pick one here?
Let's do it.
I'll read off the pack. So 15 cards. We got Ghost Quarter, colorless land. You can sack it to destroy target land, and then its controller may search the library basic land put on the battlefield. We got Eidolon of the Great Rebel, red, 2/2. Whenever a player casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, deals 2 damage to them. Emrakul, the Promised End, 13 mana, 13/13. Flying Trample pro instance, and it costs 1 less for each card type among cards in your grave. You get to Mindslave your opponent, but then they take another turn after that. Good Fortune Unicorn, 1 green, 2/2. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a counter on that creature. Todex Spear, which is Shadow Spear, a Guardian of the Light. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 as trample and lifelink. Equip 2, permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible in a turn. We have Cut to Ribbons. Oh my gosh. Speaking of cards that are hard to read from Secret Lairs.
Right?
Oh my gosh. So Cut, 1 red sorcery, deals 4 damage to our creature, and then Ribbons, which you can cast on the grave with Aftermath. X black. Each opponent loses X life. This card, I think, is just a sleeper card. I always very impressed with this card.
I love it.
We have Felidar Sovereign, 4 white, 4/6, Vigilance lifelink. If your upkeep, you have 40 more life, you win the game. Shelter, 1 and a white instant. Target creature control gains protection in the color of your choice. Until in return, draw a card. Frost Titan, 4 blue, 6/6. It basically is Ward 2. And when it enters or attacks, tap target permanent. It doesn't untap. During its controller's next untap. We have Kaido Mysterious Maestro. But no, it's not Kaido, the Magic Planeswalker. It's actually Jace, Unraveler of Secrets. Surprise. 3 blue, 5 loyalty. +1, scry 1, draw a card. -2, return a creature to its hand. -8, you get an emblem whenever an opponent casts their first spell. You turn counter it. Then we have Consecrated Sphinx. This pack has some chonky 6 mana creatures. 4 blue, 4/5 flying. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may draw 2. Lab Man, if you draw a card where your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Rakdos Signet, black-red Signet. Abundant Growth, Another crazy read one. Green, enchantment aura, enchant land. When a one growth enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then the land can tap for any color. And then metallic mimic. When it enters, you choose a creature type. And then metallic mimic is the chosen type, and creature control of that type enter with a 1/1 counter. 2-mana, 2/1. Is there a persist combo in the cube?
No.
Okay. That's what I always think when I see like a Good Fortune Unicorn or Metallic Mimic.
The Good Fortune Unicorn was just kind of like for the Selesnya go wide kind of deck, right? It's just like a generically okay card. It just does the thing. It gives you free power on board all the time.
And the Metallic Mimic, I mean, there's definitely like some creature type matters themes we didn't get that into, but like for example, there's a zombies theme I see.
Yeah.
There's a soldiers theme with cards like Field Marshal that gives your soldiers a buff. There's some goblins going on too. We got a lot of different things going on here.
Yeah. I think like Metallic Mimic was better when I had the full themes in of like the slivers, and then I wanted to do elves. But like the thing is, when you put them in that kind of environment, it's like if you put in an infect archetype into it, but it's only can support really like one player, but then like two people try to draft it. It's a dud for two people. So I try to avoid that. So like that's why there's like no theme. So Mimic might be on the way out, but like there's a lot of like token stuff that's in here. So like it could just be a generically like good.
True. It doesn't say non-token. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like for me in this pack one pick one, I think the blatant go-to is going to be Shadow Spear.
That is just a strong powerhouse.
I think it's like one of the higher cards. And then like part of the pet cards that come into play here is going to be like Abundant Growth, because I really like that mono green deck.
5-color green.
Yeah, like a mono green in this, really fun to do. I think like my tier is going to be like, if we go like top 4, Shadow Spear. I think Cut to Ribbons is really good because it's a really good removal piece. I think the Rakdos Signet is really good. Fixing in this cube, if you can get it, because it kind of opens up your door to a lot of like splashy things. Because I tried to like really work on the fact that like a lot of these cards were like triple pipped. Tried to make Fixing like really good.
Yeah, we got Eidolon, red here. There's some intense color requirements.
Yeah, and so like ideally like Fixing is a good, and like the Rakdos payoffs are I think pretty decent. And then Frost Titan. I think those are my top 4.
This is probably dumb, but I see an Emrakul the Promised Land in a pack, and I just want to go for it. I just want to fill the grave. I want to do some graveyard shenanigans, or even just go some kind of like blue-eye control where I just have some big dumb Eldrazi that kills my opponent at the end. I'm taking this and probably going 03.
You know what? That's the thing though. Like it could pay off. The Eldrazi thing is doable. Like it's really doable. I really want them to add a dredge mechanic into like Secret Lair, Surveil. I put Stitcher Supply in here because that can help feed the yard as well.
Yeah.
There are ways to
fill Hedron Crab.
Yeah, Hedron Crab's good. It's definitely doable to like Emrakul somebody and like ruin their day.
And this cube is a decently higher curve. There's fast mana some, but overall the curve is definitely higher. So I feel like you have time.
Oh yeah. Like you said, it's very mid-rangey. And basically it's like 4 drops kind of rule the environment. But like there are times where like you get the aggro deck and it just does the aggro thing. Throw a Hex Drinker on turn 1 and you get it to a 4/4 in turn 2. Like what are they going to do about it? Yeah. There's not much they can do.
So definitely let us know in the comments what you would take from this pack. I mean, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great talking with you here. Anything you want to say before we wrap up?
If you're ever in the Indy area, shout out Cube Commonwealth. And that's kind of like our cube group here in Indy. And we have one out in Kansas City. But other than that, enjoy Cube for what it is. And I hope to see you guys at CubeCon next year.
Yeah. And if you happen to be in the area of Connecticut, we're always looking for more cubers. So definitely reach out to me. We have our Discord and always looking for more people to come out and cube with us. One thing before we wrap up, I just want to ask, how do you cast Reality Smasher in this cube?
There's wastes.
Oh, there's wastes.
Yeah. So the wastes are in the basic land, which we didn't get to talk about, but even the basic lands, like my proud part about this cube is that the sleeves and the basic lands are Secret Lair.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
I have a quick story. So Melissa Tortora drafted this at CubeCon 2 years ago. She tweeted it, and some guy on Twitter said, well, those aren't Secret Lair basics. And I lost my mind because at the time I wanted them to be like individually unique, and they didn't have enough of them. And they were also just more expensive. But by now, I was like, I don't even care. I like came home and just grabbed as many of them as I can from my LGS. All my basics are Secret Lair. all of the sleeves are as well. So yeah.
Do you have the Secret Lair basics that are like the full art, full text ones where there's no art on it? It's just all only crazy words.
No, but I want to get one of each because there's like, I'm pretty sure the foil ones are pretty expensive. But
yeah,
like,
at one point I got one of each of them. I just thought they were too funny. I was like, come on, I gotta
that's
get
my
these.
friend's draft basics. And I'm like, good
Oh,
for you.
wow.
I feel like it's like a tilter. And someone's like, what is that? It's just a basic planes. Okay.
Well,
But
yeah, thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes. Please like, subscribe, follow, that good stuff. We'll see you all soon.